Hi everyone, welcome to another Yarn Scrap Friday with me, Laura, and a really cute little quick flower today. I'm going to call it a double layered picot flower, so I hope you enjoy. Let's begin. Okay, so for this tutorial I'm going to be using a sport baby weight yarn, so it's a yarn weight of 2, but of course you can use any yarn that you like for this project, so you don't need to copy me. With that though, I'm using a 3mm crochet hook, and you're also going to need a yarn needle and a pair of scissors as well. Okay, so let's begin. So I'm going to start off with the nice mint green colour I've got here. And what we're going to do is work a little chain 4 loop. You can of course use a magic circle as well, but just to help beginners, I'm going to work a little chain 4 loop to begin. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 4. Find our first chain, put our hook into there, bring the yarn through and straight through the loop on your hook, and you've got a little tiny loop of chains. And into there we're going to work some stitches. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 just for leverage. Then we're going to put, don't count that as a stitch, then put your hook into the center. So be careful not to put it into your first chain hole, which can look quite big. Go into the center, bring the yarn through, and we're going to work some single crochets. This pattern's in US terminology, so in UK terms, these are double crochet. And we want to work 10 single crochet in here, so we're going to squeeze in 10. So our first one, 1, next one, just wrapping it around the chains, 2, next one, 3, another one, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so squeeze in 3 more. 7, 8, 9, and 1 more, 10. Now if you're working with a much thicker yarn, you may find this a little bit harder, but I've carried the yarn, so I can just bring in that center hole a little bit, and we've got 10 single crochets. So then we're going to slip stitch into our first single crochet to join the round. We should have a little circle that looks like this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to slip stitch in the same stitch we just slip stitched into, but into the front loop only. So rather than going into the stitch all in one go, we're just going to catch that front loop there, and we're going to slip stitch into the front loop. This creates a really nice little picot. And then we're going to slip stitch into the next front loop. So not both loops, just the front loop. Slip stitch into there. Then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then slip stitch in the same front loop. Then slip stitch in the next front loop. So not both loops, just that front loop, slip stitch into there. And the same thing again, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And slip stitch in the same front loop. So repeat that all the way around. You should end up with 10 of these nice pretty little picots. So then slip stitch in the next front loop and chain 4. Okay, so I shall do that and then I shall come back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch in the same front loop, then slip stitch in the next front loop. Okay, and then just working our last picot, chain 4, slip stitch in the same front loop, and just double check you have 10 of these little picot petals. And then what you want to do is you've run out of stitches, so you just want to bend over the first picot that you made and find this first skipped back loop that you skipped, and we want to slip stitch into there. So this is the end of our first little flower round, and then we're going to join our petal colour, bigger petal colours. So I'm going to take our pink and just join that in a little chain 1, which I'm not going to count as a stitch. Just bring that through, pull your tail end, and now we're working with our next colour. So once you've joined your next colour, we're going to chain 2. So chain 1, chain 2, then going back into the same skipped back loop, we're going to work a double crochet. So we're going to go back into there and work a double crochet, or a treble in UK terms. Then we're going to work a treble crochet, or in UK terms a double treble. So we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook twice, go back into the same skipped back loop, and like any stitch that's a double crochet or bigger, we just yarn over, pull through 2 until we get to the end. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and then we're going to do that in reverse. So we're going to do another treble crochet and then find the next skipped back loop, which is going to be, where are you? Here. And do a treble. So pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And then in the same back loop, we do a double crochet. Then we chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch in the same back loop. Slip stitch into there, and that's the end of our first petal. And repeat that all the way around. We're going to slip stitch in the next back loop and repeat. So we chain 2, 1, 2, work a double crochet in the same back loop. Oops. Then a treble, so we wrap the yarn around our hook twice. And we yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We got our treble. Then in the next skipped back loop, we do that in reverse. We start with a treble, find the next skipped back loop, work that treble, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Double crochet in the same back loop, and then we chain 2, 1 and 2, chain 2 and slip stitch in the same back loop. And that's our next one complete, our next petal. Then the next one, we slip stitch into the next back loop and start again. So we chain 2, double crochet, then a treble. And just repeat that all the way around. So I shall do that, then come back and show you the finished flower. You should end up with 5 petals instead of 10, because we're using up 2 stitches for each half of the petal. Then the next back loop, we do that in reverse. So yarn over twice and work a treble. Then a double crochet, chain 2 and slip stitch. 1 and 2 and slip stitch. Then slip stitch in the next back loop. Okay. Then after your 5th petal, if you want, you can just find a random bit of yarn near to the first petal and just slip stitch into there if you want to. You don't have to. And there we go. There is our cute little flower. So let's cut a yarn and neaten it up. See what it looks like. Just pull that through. And there we go. So I'm going to hide the tail ends and then come back and show you the finished flower. Okay, so I've neatened up my tail ends a little bit, just knotted them on the back, and it actually looks really pretty on the back as well. So you could actually choose either side. You could have this side, or you could have the little pretty picot side here. So there we go, a little double layered picot flower designed on the go actually. So I made this up as we were going along, so I was a little bit stuck for time for this Yarn Scrap Fridays. I really hope you enjoyed this cute flower. Let me know in the comments below what you think and what colours you would use as well. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Hope you managed to follow along and make some cute flowers. Let me know in the comments below what you would make these flowers for. Maybe make a lovely, beautiful wreath, or would you make it in maybe little lily pad colours, so it looks like almost like a little lily pad. And a huge thank you to my Member Plus subscription members on my website for helping make these sort of tutorials possible. A huge thank you to you guys. So do check out my membership area on my website where you can get exclusive content, early access, free PDF downloads, and so much more. So go check it out. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon for some more crochet crafting fun. Bye.